Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share with you a new collection release that will be in my Etsy shop tomorrow, Friday, April 15th at noon Eastern Standard Time. I am going to share with you the extra items that I'm going to release in my shop at the same time as this collection. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will share with you a video of the collection itself, the kit that comes with the collection, and then the journal itself. So this collection, just to give you an idea ahead of time, it is called Count Your Blessings. It has a vintage theme going on, and it was so much fun to work on and so much fun to put together. I realized I hadn't done a vintage theme in a while, so this was super fun. So today I'm going to share with you the extra items that will be in the shop. So I'm going to move a little quickly because I do have a lot to share. I've done one of these little envelope packs in the past, and they were super popular, and I didn't have nearly enough supply for the demand. So I made a few more for this kit of just items that would work well in the collection or for any collection. Everything's very vintagey. So here on the front of this, that is this playing card. And this really has like a 70s feel, and it really matches so much of the style going on right now. And then just to give you an idea of the journal, I love this paper, and then the inside of the paper. So it's a lot of these mustard yellows, just these warmer tones, and this card I thought was a nice fit for that. So there's one playing card. There is a small doily. There is a coffee stained linen envelope. I'm sorry, not coffee, tea stained. It's a lot lighter than that, so it's tea stained. And then when you open it up, there is another playing card on the inside. This kit has a lot of office type papers in it, along with the ephemera packs. They have office papers, some of them being vintage, so I liked the postage stamps on this one. And then always love the birds and the vintage birds, so there's that one. So then here in this pocket, there is a stamped guest check with a little pocket watch. There is a hand stamped tag that says special delivery, handle with care. And then there is an old, smaller Yahtzee score sheet. And then here in this side, here in the back, there's an envelope that I've stamped with some little stamp postages and a little canceled mark there. And then I just added a number to the side there. So that's just a regular envelope. I have so many old yearbooks, high school yearbooks. This is one that I will be listing. It's 1946, which I think is so cool. If I remember correctly, there are some signatures in the back of it. I always love the ads. So cool. And let's see. Has the classes. I didn't know if it mentioned anything about the war effort. I think that was a different one I had. But then there are some old newspaper articles in here. Niles. Hi, this is fun to me because this is where I grew up as a kid. So it has a lot of their reunion, 50th reunion, 60th reunion in 2004. I just love that somebody saved these and stuck them in their yearbook. So 1941, class of 41 holds 60th reunion, class of 44. So anyway, newspaper clippings in the front of it and a yearbook from 1946. And then I have some ruffles. I had some leftover ruffles from making the cover. So this is a linen tablecloth that has been tea stained, and then let's see, just gathered and stitched. Something you could use extra on the covers or in your journals or any other project you want. And they are about 19 inches, 18 to 19 inches, are the size of these. So I have a few of those. Those will be listed. And then I have a few strips of these green ones. I haven't stitched into ruffles yet, but I will probably have a few of those as well. I love the greens and the mustards, as you guys know. So I'll probably have a few of those up as well. And then I'm super excited about these. I have two different type of paper packs, journaling kits. As I was gathering things, I thought somebody might enjoy more of them. So I have a legal size file folder, pocket file folder here. And inside I have a variety of papers. So this is some, this is a different ephemera pack that will be listed. And then if we go through the papers here, this is everything that's inside. There's a vintage ledger sheet out of a ledger book. I don't know if any of you have looked up the price of these ledger books on eBay lately, but they're very expensive. I'm talking 50 to 60 bucks for one of these little ledger books. So I am sharing some of these pages here. This one, I love anything that has the numbers on it. So there is this style here. There is a weekly timesheet, and again, some of these are new and some of these are old. There's a variety of pages here. So this is just a notepad weekly timesheet paper. This is from my era when I was a kid. A book page out of an old telephone message book. Another ledger book, an older one. And I'm trying to mix the colors, the different lines, the different numbers. Here is a page out of my vintage ledger. This is priceless to me. This one is $18.99 when this was handwritten. Some of the book pages are into the early 1900s, like 1901, 1902, or something like that. And this is just out of an old grocer's ledger. So the book is extra long, the book page. So I folded it up here at the bottom, and you get 2 pages technically, since it is still connected. I love this book. Okay, so then here are 2 ledger sheets. This is from Safeguard. It's a certain form number. And these are from 1978. And love the colors again. Love the brown print. And then the back is blank. So it has these 2 little holes here in the bottom for whatever book it fit into. You're going to get 2 of those. And then there's an old piece of graph paper out of a notebook. The notes that were in this notebook were from the 70s as well. So it kind of has that aged look. Then there is a newer daily attendance record. This is on a thicker cardstock. Then we have an older ledger sheet again. This is an individual earning record paper. It was revised in 1973. Again with the fun brown print. And this one is double-sided, and you get 2 of those. Then we have another tall, skinny ledger paper here out of a book. A check payment and deposit register, accounts, checks drawn in. This is another type of ledger book. And then now this ledger, my mom actually is the one who found these years ago, this old ledger, and this is from another ledger that was never used and is from that same era. So this ledger is also from the late 1800s, only it is a blank piece of paper. So it's a little brittle, but it's actually not bad at all for being over 100 years old. And I just love the natural yellowing and everything. So you're going to get a blank sheet out of that ledger. And then one more, you're going to get one of these large green ledger papers that's been folded in half. All right, so counting the folder, this is a 15-piece paper pack of different office papers. All right, and then something super fun to me. I have 6 of these. Last month, I sold some sets of old Highlights magazines. This month I have the file folders for each year. They're all a little different. This one does not have the year written in it. Some of it does, some of them do. This one does have the name a little worn off, but you can see on this one, somebody wrote 1971. So there are some handwriting. This belonged to Jody. There is some wear and tear on these, but I just thought they were great little holders for these ephemera packs. So I have 6 of these, and these are much larger in nature. I was going to originally use these little boxes in my craft room, but I am packed to the gills in this new craft room I have. So I decided to make ephemera packs out of them, little journaling kits. So there are a whole bunch of things in here that you could make a junk journal, including a cover and some Tyvek. So I'm going to go through all of this with you. Here in the front, I have a white envelope. A lot of people like making their covers out of white envelopes. This is a 12 by 9. So a 12 by 9 sticky white envelope. Then there are 5 manila folders here. This one happens to be A, B, C, D, E, and they're all different. This one is F, G, H, I, J. So I'm going to make 6 different listings for these. There will be 6 of them, and then you'll be able to see which one you're getting. So here in this front folder, and they're all the same. All the papers are the same other than the differences in the boxes and the folders. So this is all book pages, and there is a lot in these. So I'm going to move through them rather quickly. Let's see, is this the book page? Yes. All right. So here are 3 smaller old dictionary pages. And then here's a book of, like, I think it's called 20,000 words. So it's just words. And again, I'm loving the font. You guys know what I love to do with book pages is different art journaling type pages or collages. And it's just fun to have different paper textures, different fonts, different ages of books. So here's a couple of these older book pages. And then there's some Greg shorthand book pages. I know this is from the early 1900s. And there are 2 pages here that are together. Then there are a few dictionary book pages. I think this might have been a German dictionary. There are 4 book pages still connected of this super vintage dictionary. And then another foreign language, not sure which one this is, but there are 3 of those. There are 2 more book pages out of yet another vintage dictionary. Then there are 2 music sheets out of an old vintage music book, yet another old dictionary. 3 book pages here. This is one of the old school ones because it has the pictures on them. And then another 3 sheets out of a different dictionary. Another word book of some type. There are 3 book pages here. All right, and then there is a map page out of an atlas. Here's a large print dictionary. There are 3 sheets here. Yes. Another vintage music book page. This is a fun telephone directory type book, again, that I had from my hometown. I love the little ads that are running all over the book pages, and then just the phone numbers and the text. So there are 3 book pages like this, and then out of that same book there are 2 blue book pages with another list of numbers and names there. Then we have a chunk of an index. Again, I'm always loving the book pages for the collaging and for the different projects. So there are 5 double sheets of this index. So lots of pages there that you can do things with. Then out of those yearbooks I had, there are some sheets. there are some pages. One of those with the advertisements, the local advertisements. One with some type of class picture on there, at least one side. Here's what's in this kit. And then there's another page here with some more of the advertisements. This is a double page. And then, lots of book pages in here, you guys. Then there are 2 book pages out of this old accounting principles and procedure book. This is again from the early 1900s. I like the charts and the text. There are 2 different types of typing book lesson pages. So here's one out of this older book that I have that's more yellowed, and then another out of a different book. And then here in the very back, I think we finally made it to the back of the folder, there is a double page sheet of old music paper, the larger book size. So that is everything that is in this first folder. Okay, let's see how quickly the rest of this, we have 5 folders. So this one is the second folder, and it is full of vintage ephemera. I'm super excited about this one. So here is a little glassine envelope, and it has a variety of 5 different older postage stamps. Then I have these old paper coasters from Bedford Spring Hotel. There's an old calendar pocketbook page here from an old farmer's calendar. This is dated 1927. Another couple of old book pages out of a pocket dictionary from about that same era. There is one canceled check. There is a vintage airmail envelope. There is a vintage letter. So this one specifically is from 1949, and they all have an old letter in them. There's an old first edition envelope with a stamp. An old business envelope. I love these with the glassine paper. This one's dated 1956. And again, I love the business fonts on there. Then I have this little glassine envelope here that has, let's see, 4, these were like lick and stick type little past due notices that they could stick on envelopes. So I love those. Those are fun. Then I have another vintage envelope here. Then we have this old standard gas station receipt. These are from the 1960s. I think they're all from the same person. But these are just fun to me. I love the, everything I keep saying. I love all the old print and just so many ways you can use this stuff. Here is a glassine envelope that has some vintage coin wrappers in them, all the way up to $50. Then there are 2 old desk calendar pages, early 1900s. Again, this one has some handwriting on it. Another one of those 1800, 1900, this one is 1900, ledger pages out of that old grocer's ledger. And again, these ledgers, if you were to buy them, these late 1800s ledgers whole, they are very expensive. This book alone would have been over $100. This one, somebody had, this exact ledger that I had, somebody had on Etsy for $700. It was kind of ridiculous. I don't know anybody who's going to pay $700 for an old ledger, but not me. I'm going to use it and enjoy it. So here's another one of those blank 1800 ledgers. And then there's a vintage receipt in here. This is a bank statement from 1928. Just a little statement of their bank account. Again, love the print, love the color. So that's everything in the vintage folder. Here we have the third folder, and this is office papers. So it's pretty much the same things we've been seeing already. Here's an older invoice, and it's copy paper. 1 weekly timesheet. I'm going to try to move a little quicker here. 2 of those phone message book pages. 2 of those large green ledger papers. Then we have 2 pages out of that numbered small ledger book. And then we have this other small ledger book that is not numbered. There's a double sheet, 2 double sheets of that. So technically you're getting 4 pages there. Here's another medium-sized ledger book that I had, double page. Yet another ledger book. There are 2 book pages of that. And another ledger book. This one is numbered. It's more of a medium size and it is a double page. There are some of those graph papers. One of them is blank, and then one of them has all of the little math work going on here. You can see she or he has dated this page 1978. So I just thought that was fun. There are 2 pages out of this tall and skinny ledger book, 2 more pages of this brown individual earnings record from 1973. There are 2 of those. There are 2 daily attendance record pages, 2 check payment deposit registers, 2 of these 1978 yellow ledger papers. There are 3, right? Yes, 3 of these planner papers out of a folder calendar from 2017. I just thought they were fun. I love the numbers running down the side here. So that is everything in this 3rd folder. Then the 4th folder, this has some other papers. So this is one of this full windowed business size envelope. I love playing with these. Then there are some regular like parchment type papers in here. Here are 3 parchment papers. This one has like a tan color. This one is a pink color, and then this one is a printed, made to look vintage page there. And we have a cotton sheet of ivory paper. Here is another white sheet of parchment paper. Then there is a gray sheet of cotton paper, and then another type of 100% cotton paper, Southworth ivory color. So these are more just higher end papers in that folder. And then the 5th and final folder is a Reader's Digest cover. I'll take a picture of each cover on the Etsy listing so you can see what the book covers look like. They're all different, but the pages have been cut out of it. And then there is a sheet of Tyvek. Here it measures about 10 by 6, and it's enough that you can, when you're making your journal, support the spine so it doesn't fall apart on you when you're sewing your book together. And that is everything that is in this little highlights cardboard folder. So I hope those of you that pick these up have a lot of fun with it. There's definitely enough in here to get you started on a journal, and you can, more than one journal. Actually, there's quite a bit in here. So hopefully you enjoy that and enjoyed seeing that, because I really did enjoy putting these together. And yeah, so there are 6 of those. Now that I finally made it through all of that, let's look at the ephemera packs. So these are the 2 ephemera packs that I typically have to match a collection. There's a 15 piece and a 30 piece. We will get started with the 15 piece. Okay, so I'm going to move through this here. Here is a playing card. And again, I just enjoy the way that it matches the collection. So there's this playing card. There are 2 craft colored tags here. One brown price tag, one brown journaling tag. There is a vintage cigarette or tea card. Sorry, either a bird or a butterfly. There's a hand stamped tag, and since there were so many office papers in this kit, I just stamped a little postcard thing down there at the bottom, this little office stamp here. There is a alteration tag, a vintage dimes coin roll paper. a yellow claim check, a yellow paper coin envelope. There's a vintage postcard. I love these old bridge game papers, so there's one of those. There's a first edition stamped envelope. And then these are fun. This is like a black money bills envelope. You can put dollar bills in, fits that. Those are fun. There is a card tag here with some giant numbers, some key tags, and a claim check that could be perforated and taken off the back. Off the bottom, one side is red and one side is green. And then there is one of those yellow 1978 ledger papers, and then a vintage savings bank printout deposit type sheet for this checking account. This was 1933. So that is everything in this super fun 15-piece ephemera pack. Oh, and then stuck to the envelope here. Here is an old piece of paper out of a jukebox that just has a song, like from the 80s or the 90s or something. All right, so then the 30-piece ephemera pack. We have 2 of those brown price tags, 1 vintage recipe card, 1 vintage postcard, an old Rolodex card. Here's an old playing card. We have a glassine envelope, and there are a few old stamps in here. Another hand stamped tag, and then a blank tag, an inventory tag, 2 of those jukebox title papers. Here's a blank brown craft tag, a white coin envelope, a mini white CD case, a windowed jeweler's envelope, and then we have another vintage playing card. We have a vintage flash card, a vintage nickels coin roll paper, 2 of these brown little journaling tags, 1 first edition stamped envelope, a green claim check, a vintage standard gas station service type receipt. This one is from 1960. We have 2 little message papers out of this phone message book, 1 of those black bill organizer envelopes, an old Yahtzee score sheet paper, 1 of these trifold weekly time record time cards. I love these things. Can't wait to play. This is also in the main collection. I'm super excited to play with those. And then there is a vintage piece of pink peach. It's more of a peach writing paper with a mustard colored envelope, 1 of those vintage book pages with the advertisements and phone numbers on it. There is a heavier cardstock piece of attendance record book page here. And then there is a vintage ledger sheet here, this 1973 brown ledger sheet. So that is everything that is in the 30-piece ephemera pack. And thank you if you stuck with me this long making it through this video. That is all of the extra items that will be up in the Etsy shop tomorrow. So there will be a design team for this collection. Just put those in the description box down below. You won't want to miss it. The Etsy shop listing will be down below. Don't forget, tomorrow at 11 Eastern Standard Time, I'll share a video with the main kit, and then the release will be at noon. Sometimes I know it can get a little confusing. I've gotten some messages early, people worrying they missed it, but it's 11 a.m. for the video and noon, 12 p.m. for the release itself. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video and sticking with me through this transition and getting used to life here and all of that. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.